traders, I'm Tamar Mehr and welcome to the Knockout Trader Dojo. Today we are going to continue our lessons from the ring and we are up to lesson 6, and that is on attitude and belief. So it is about believing that you will succeed well before the fight has even begun. Believing that you will win. This lesson made a strong appearance in my days as a referee more than as a competitor. When you compete, you are very much in the thick of everything. It's very hard to pay attention to all the surrounding. It's very hard to take notes of other people's behavior and demeanor. You are concentrating on the task at hand. You are concentrating on your very own roller coaster of emotions. However, as a referee, you get to take a step back from being in the midst of all. There are no emotions involved and you get to have a much clearer view of what really happens in the ring. And you get to see the competitor's demeanor, the posture, and their attitude. So just before the fight begins, the competitors sit with their coaches, they receive final instructions and last-minute pep talks. Now looking at the competitors, I could actually tell who's going to do well in the fight and who's going to lose. It was the way they held themselves. It's the way they looked at their coaches, their body language. It was almost yelling, I don't want to be here. I can't do it. I'm afraid. So on the other hand, you can see the competitors that had fire in their eyes and they were ready to go, ready to get into the ring and give it all that they've got to get their victory. So it really didn't matter much who had a higher belt or who had a slight height advantage or who was a better martial artist or who possessed a better technique. In the ring, what mattered most was their attitude and their self-belief. Those who had this belief that they could win usually went ahead and almost in all cases actually won. Those who did not believe in themselves or in their abilities almost always lost that fight. So just the same, a trader needs to believe in their own abilities and in their knowledge, and of course in their trading strategy. Having belief is not a guarantee of success. We have to put in the effort, we have to work for it, and we have to gain the knowledge. But the alternative of not having belief in oneself is almost a sure guarantee of failure. The 7 lessons is learn from your mistakes and learn from your successes. So every fight and every training session is an opportunity to learn something. There are a lot of saying in the market about learning from your mistakes, phrases like, you already paid the price, so you might as well learn something from it. It's a well-known approach and it's a smart approach to learn from your mistake. But one thing is neglected here, and that is learning from your successes as well. Everything that we do, every trade that we take, every fight that we fight can offer us a valuable lesson. And a good fighter learns from their mistakes, but a great fighters also learn from their successes. So then comes the question, and I get this a lot, if I won the trade, then that means that I've done everything right. So what is there for me to learn here? So an interesting experiment in behavioral economics found that humans tend to interpret their successes as a result of good decision making and being smart rather than just pure luck. But if the outcome was not a successful one, then they will tend to interpret it as a result of pure bad luck. From this, we can understand the need to study our successful trade as well, as not every trade that went to target actually did so based on good decision making. Yes, some of them will just be pure luck. And if those actions were to be repeated, then those trades are most likely gonna end up in a loss. And so a good trader learns from their mistakes, but a great trader, they also learn from their successes. The 8th lesson is about your environment. Who do you train with and who's in your corner? So I've seen competitions when the coaches didn't really want to be there. They looked like they were forced to be there, and that affected their fighters' results. But I've also seen coaches who were so invested in their fighter's success that they were able to turn a fight around. They knew the fighter abilities and mental limitation inside out. They also knew what to say in the heat of the fight because they cared. I've also seen in preparation for a fight a whole club rallying behind their fighter and support them in their training. But I've also seen how hard it is for those who did not receive that support. So look at your environment, find your support. Do you have people around you that talk your dream down, or do you have that special person in your corner? Lastly, the 9th lesson is about rest and recharge. So when we want to achieve something, when we take on something new, we push ourselves and we push ourselves hard. But just like an athlete needs to rest their body and let the muscle recover, a trader needs to do the same. If we push on and work when we have low energy, we will lose focus and we may miss good opportunities, or even worse, we may enter into bad ones. So I like to compare it to sitting in the driver's seat of a car, pressing on the accelerator as hard as we can, but not noticing that the gear is still in neutral. So no matter how much effort we put in, the car is not going to go anywhere. So having a mental rest is crucial for traders' success, just the same as physical rest is for an athlete. So these are my 9 lessons from martial art and how they applied to the mental combat of trading. Happy knockouts, everyone! Bye for now!